Guys, I want to teach y'all how to blend to make a soft transition with paintbrush. A lot of people think you have to use an airbrush. You don't. It's easier. If you want to learn how to blend two colors, from light to dark, dark to light, I'm going to teach y'all how to do that real quick on this wall. I'm painting this mural for a customer. It's gonna go for a baby little crib is gonna go right here. There's gonna be an archway of flowers around the crib with some danglies. Now, guys, I did this part right here with my airbrush. You can see that softness. If you have, let's say, a flower leaf. Sometimes flower leaves are two-dimensional like this. There's just hard, dark, and light. Sometimes they're like dark to light like that. Here's a dark pink to a white, and we're gonna transition up. Now, that is not a perfect transition, nor did I want it to be, because the flower petal sometimes is textured. Sometimes texture is good, sometimes texture is not good. But if you want your painting to look less cartoony, let me look for an example. Like, this is more like a solid shape, I guess. Trying to find one. I mean, like this, you know? This is a good one. You see how plain that is? If you just paint a solid color, a lot of people paint like that. They'll just put like, well, I need to make a leaf, and they'll use one color of green on there. My hair's crazy, who cares? Y'all don't care, I don't care. Let's say you wanted to blend something. Let's do it. Let's give it a shot. This is the wall color right here. I want you to paint. This is called painting wet and wet. So I'm just gonna do it right here on the wall, just to teach y'all, just for the sake of this video. Let's say I wanted to blend from, this is the wall color, dark. This is the wall color, wet. It's lighter. Now, let's say I wanted to blend, let me just take a color here. Let's do purple. I'm gonna paint over this anyway. All right, let's put our purple in here. Let's say you're painting a shape purple. Get it pure, because I had the other paint in my brush, so I had to go over it a few times. That's another trick. If you're going from one color to another, make sure you just go over the area a bunch of times, and you'll eventually get to your pure color. In this case, we wanted purple, right? So here we have purple. Now, if I wanted to do a fade with this purple, this will be a good example. So watch this. Most people will try to go lighter in pressure with their paintbrush. And you'll see a lot of times in painting, it'll be like one color here, the other color here, and then the blend is just real crappy. But if you'll blend into the wall color that you've already put down, it's drying on me anyway. Look at that transition. A little more wall color over here. You just want to go back and forth until you get the right gradient. Now, this is a problem. This is already drying. If I keep going this way, it's gonna lighten that up. If I keep going this way now, it'll mess it up. You have to leave it alone, because acrylic paint dries so quick. This is why a lot of oil painters use oil paint, and they'll use a blending medium, like mineral spirits, or they'll use an oil, a blending oil to keep the paint wet. But wet into wet, it's where you have a wet color of in this case, the wall color, and then my other color was purple. So I hope this helps. Little short video on blending. If you want the perfect transition, use an airbrush. I mean, it really blends it easy. And what you're doing with that is you have a color. I think I have some paint in my airbrush. Yes, I do. Let me show you. So if you have a pure color with your airbrush, like let's just say pink. Okay, with your airbrush, it's a little watered down. That's why there's those bubbles in it. That's actually dripping. The paint's running because I have it real thin down. So to blend with the airbrush, watch this. You back away with the airbrush, and you also don't pull back on the trigger. Once you push down on an airbrush, it's just air. That's only air. When you pull back on the trigger, it's pulling the needle backwards, and it's allowing the paint in the cup to flow out. Okay, so to do a blend with airbrush, I want you to go heavy on the pure color that you want, on the pure side, the saturated side. And then I want you to not pull back on the trigger as much as you go across. And you can back up a little bit. I backed up and I pulled less on the trigger as I went left. Airbrush versus paintbrush. You decide which one you think looks better. Definitely the airbrush is gonna give you that softer tone. Not tone, transition, softer. Gradient is the word, actually. Okay, guys, hope this video helped you a little bit. Go buy you a cheap airbrush, Harbor Freight. They're like 120 bucks. Water down your paint. When you're using an airbrush, you cannot use it straight out of the can because it won't flow out. So what I do is and this is huge because it'll clog up and it won't come out of your airbrush. You'll wonder what's wrong. You'll get real frustrated. Guys, I started watering down my paint. I mean, like 50-50, like pretty watery. You don't want it so watery that it runs. And you can tell. Like if you have it too watered down, you go to spray it on there and it kind of drips a little bit on the wall. You can see through it really bad. The paint's too thin. Just get you another scoop of paint on your paintbrush and mix it in the cup of water. Just keep doing that. I just dip my paintbrush in and I swirl it in the cup of water. You know, I just because it goes a long way in an airbrush. So I put a little water in a cup and then I just start scooping paint there with my paintbrush and I'm stirring it, scoop a little more. And then one more trick, this is very helpful. One more trick I do is I swirl the paint onto the inside of the cup. And when it runs down, if it leaves the paint on the side of the cup, you know it's thick enough. Watch. So I'm gonna get some paint up on the edge of the cup there. And then I let it run back down. And if the paint color stays on the edge, on the inside of the cup, then it's good. If it disappears, it's too watery. That disappeared, it needs more paint. Okay guys, hope this video helped. See y'all next time.